What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball FighterZ for y'all. So today I kind of want to continue looking at the characters we have in the game so far, of course from the different perspectives, right? So for example, characters I will never play, like Zamasu, characters that are underplayed, characters that are slept on, stuff like that. So specifically today, I want to look at SSJ Vegeta. I think this character is almost criminally underplayed, and he's been present basically for the entire lifespan of the game. So I always thought this character was really interesting to look at. If you like the content I'm putting out on this channel, please like this video or subscribe to the channel, or do both if you have not already. It does help the channel grow and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so SSJ Vegeta. So when I say that this character has been present basically for the entire game's lifespan, I am not kidding. Actually, in the closed beta, so the invite-only beta, way back in like 2017, his assist was actually even better. It was like twice as long. It wasn't a key blast. You just kind of had to sit there. Now, of course, too, when the game dropped, he was basically the most popular anchor. It got to the point in Season 1 before they changed his assist where there were basically two schools of what you should use as an anchor at that time. We didn't know about characters like Yamcha yet, so it was either maximum defense and running away with Super Saiyan Vegeta, or maximum offense and trying to come back with Android 16. Now, pretty early in Season 1, they made the change that we're pretty familiar with, where these key blasts, right, they became reflectable, super dash. They're considered key blasts on block now. So even though on block it's plus 51, if you reflect, you'll recover much faster. And this is basically the version of Vegeta we've had since then. So I picked these characters mostly to reflect what happened after the initial SSJ Vegeta patch, right? This team got second at EVO the first year, the Cell, Bardock, SSJ Vegeta. Then after that, this team kind of died down. People started to play SSJ Vegeta less and less. So first, actually, I want to cover his good points. So he has a lot of things going for him. For example, he's a really good anchor, as I said before. He is very hard to hit. I've described this in other videos where he is of the school of he's very hard to catch. He's got multiple key blasts, air key blasts, air DP, DP on defense that he can use, so he can kind of like dice roll you when he's blocking. He's very fast. He's very mobile. He can move across the screen very quickly on his own. He also, of course, adds an amazing neutral assist that covers a wide area and is pretty hard to hit. This assist does many things. So, for example, sloppy super dashes actually get punished. There are not many examples in the game of moves outright punishing super dashes when you block them. This is a really rare one. It's really easy to hit confirm. Also, even if they don't do something at you, they can't hit him because he jumps above your character, so they kind of have to go up and out of their way to hit him. So he's a pretty safe assist. Finally, of course, the angle, it covers a nice line, covers jump height. It's pretty hard to get over that. You'd have to be super jumping already to be over it, and you still have to fall into it, giving the advantage to the defender. Of course, there are people who will be like, oh, well, you could just super dash through it, but the whole point is the defender, the person who calls it, is just sitting there waiting for it. They have all day to see what's going on. The Vegeta assist is multiple hits, so it's very easy to see whether it's super dashing or blocking, and they could just sit there and wait. So then, with all these good things about him, why don't people use him? They basically want their cake and they want to eat it, right? So as of Season 2 especially, beam assists got really popular, and we know that beam assists are guaranteed blocks. Now when you block them, you can't do anything, as opposed to the SSJ Vegeta, that when you block it, you can do stuff. So that makes sense, but he can actually be used in ways that he can still keep up offense, even though they can reflect or super dash in block stun. SSJ Vegeta actually makes system mechanics like 6M and Dragon Rush much stronger and scarier to use, especially because the way that people defend against these things will never ever hit him. So for example, if I do something like this, so one, I could just block, and since I know they have SSJ Vegeta, I will wait. So if I'm a little bit too autopilot with my response, so for example, most people when they block 6M, they tend to jab to try to get the clash, try to get their turn back. So if I don't recognize that SSJ Vegeta is coming, I try to take my turn, I'm going to get hit. So another way you can use SSJ Vegeta to make system mechanics stronger to open people up is with Dragon Rush. So in this example here, if I try to tech Dragon Rush with like a jab or a crouching heavy, then I get hit by SSJ Vegeta and it will lead into a combo. The other thing to remember too is that even if you reflect SSJ Vegeta, he's still very, very much advantageous, right? So in this same example, I still can't really take my turn. Like, I can still do stuff out of the reflect because once you successfully reflect, you can cancel and reflect again, and you're invincible. But my options are still pretty limited, and Cell's going to be able to stay on me. Also, with Season 3 adding extra assists per character, it's much easier to pick an assist that beats you by doing stuff like Yamcha or like Super Broly, characters like that, than characters that beat you as an anchor by running away, like SSJ Vegeta. Like, it is definitely strong, undeniably strong, but you also need to be pretty woke. Like, you have to make sure that when they do super dash at you in the air, you definitely DP it. You have to be mobile. He actually alone is not super great at hitting you alone. Like, he can definitely take his turn and like stagger you the same way SSJ Goku would, but he's not doing, like, he doesn't have a command grab. He doesn't have like an invisible cross up that's not same side super dash, which remember you can practice against. So you have to basically win playing defensively, which while he's good at, is definitely harder than doing stuff like fast command grabs, cross-up Fang Fist, etc, etc. So all in all, with Super Saiyan Vegeta, it's mostly that people don't really want to build truly defensive teams or want to win using neutral or conditioning. They kind of just want to get in and mix you. So an example of a team that most people would probably recommend a new player would be something, especially if you're thinking about Season 2, but this team is still pretty legit right now, would be something along these lines, right? Easy to get in, easy to do mix-ups. All three can mix you up in all their different ways. A very offensive, fast team. Building a team with SSJ Vegeta, you can mostly put him on any team, but you just have to be ready to use the system mechanics to mix him up, actually, instead of building some type of string into like high-low or cross-up or something. Okay, so that's it for SSJ Vegeta. So actually, with the new assists, I thought that he would come back, but I haven't seen him as much as I thought I would, especially because that team I showed earlier, these three, there's a bunch of things you could do with their assists to make this a pretty well-rounded, strong team. You could do something like this, for example. You could do this. There's a lot of things. I think this team actually still works really well with the new assists. I'm also a really big fan of SSJ Vegeta because he is a really good example, along with SSJ Goku too, but he's a really good example of what basically the core of Dragon Ball neutral is, right? Like, you kind of jump around, your moves are generally not that big, but you can move around the screen with kicks and stuff. You have your ki blast, and you have ways to stop people from super dashing at you when you are jumping. He's a pretty simple character, but as we've seen throughout Dragon Ball's life, especially through players like Fenrich, who's been using him basically since the game came out, you find more and more nuance, more and more combo extensions, more and more ways to use his moves and move around the screen. So I actually really like this character, and I enjoy playing him. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.